Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guru. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasatro Vinihataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tishtati Sarvametadakhilam. He Krishna Samvakshamam. Narayana, with blessings of Sri Chinna Swamiji. We are continuing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6. We finished sloka 39. Start with sloka 40 today. It is going to be again very enlightening. So if we can complete this chapter today, there is a very important message from Lord Krishna at the end of this chapter. So let's go through that. Sloka 40. Okay, please chant. Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Parthanaiveha namutra.
Parthanaiveha namutra.
Vinasastasya vidyate.
Vinashastasya vidyate.
Nahi kalyana krut kaschit.
Nahi kalyana kaschit.
Durgatim tata gacchati.
Durgatim tata gacchati.
Let's chant together. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Parthanaiveha namutra.
Vinashastasya
Vinasastasya
vidyate.
vidyate.
Nahi
Nahi
kalyana
kalyana
kaschit.
kaschit.
Durgatim
Durgatim
tata
tata gacchati.
gacchati.
Narayana. So, Loka, in the previous slokas, Arjuna asked a very important question. Question is that if one starts going in the path of yogi, okay, one who is focused on self-realization and not on the materialistic benefits, materialistic desire, fulfilling desires, materialistic enjoyments, focused on self-realization as a goal, one who is going in the direction, if that one is not able to complete that or not able to achieve that goal, what will happen to that person? Will they be, will they be doomed from both the goals? Like one goal is attaining materialistic benefits or enjoying the materialistic benefits, which includes attaining swarga. Okay, attaining swarga, enjoying the swarga benefits. That is one. And the other one is the self-realization, which is, Lord Krishna has explained, that is the permanent bliss. So if we are not able to achieve both, then what happens? So one who is trying to go in the direction of self-realization doesn't achieve that goal, what will happen to that person? So Lord Krishna is answering, Hey Partha, Arjuna, Vinasaha na vidyate. There is no destruction, downfall, ruin. Tasya, to him. So one who is traveling in the direction of or with the goal of self-realization, that is one who wants to become perfection in yoga, to that person, there is no downfall, there is no ruin at all. Okay? Na iha amutra eva. Na iha, neither here. Amutra eva, there also, or even in the next world, neither here in this world nor there in the next world. So there is absolutely no downfall for such a person in this world or in the next world. Okay. Now, and Lord Krishna is saying, "Hey Tata." Tata is means father, right, in Sanskrit. So he is affectionately calling Arjuna, you know, uh, Nayana, something like that, right? Uh, you know, oh beloved Arjuna, um, kaschit kalyanakrit durgatim gacchati. Kaschit kalyanakrit. Anyone who does good work, kalyanakrit, good work, kaschit kalyana, who does good work, that is anyone who is doing the good work of yoga, or anyone who is practicing, or who is making all the efforts to achieve the state of yoga, durgatim na gacchati. That one does not go to ruined path, will not be doomed. Okay, indeed. So Lord Krishna is confirming that one who starts going in the path of achieving self-realization, for that one, there is no downfall in this world as well as in the next worlds. So that means there is no downfall at all. And um, anyone who is going in the direction, okay, does not, is not doomed at all. Okay. So is not ruined means is going to achieve the goal, right? So uh, he will, even though in this particular birth, that person may not be able to achieve the state of perfect yogi, okay, that person will not be doomed. That person will not be ruined. That means that person is traveling in the path of self-realization, will achieve self-realization. Mm. So basically, will he lose both the goals? No. There is no ruin at all. They will be able to enjoy the benefits of this world as well. This is another, they'll be able to enjoy the benefits of this world, and they will be able to, achieve this state of self-realization. Okay. Benefits of this world, in the sense, benefits that include achieving the state of Swarga. Okay. And enjoying the benefits there also. It's not that one who is, whose goal is to achieve self-realization will never be able to experience the pleasures of heaven, Swarga. It, they will be, okay? But that will not be their goal. Their goal is self-realization. So Lord Krishna is not saying that, oh, if you don't achieve self-realization in this particular life, you will not get Swarga. You will again, and you will not be able to enjoy any materialistic benefits, which includes enjoying Swarga. He's not saying that. Okay. So it's like if you focus only on materialistic benefits, you only get that. But if you focus on self-realization, you are traveling in the path of self-realization with the added bonus of enjoying the materialistic pleasures as well. Again, to those who it may be new, right? Swarga, is another world, right? It is just like we take birth as humans, animals, and all this. There is birth in that world also, right? To enjoy the benefits of this world. And after enjoying the benefits in Swarga, heaven, again that person, that Atma, that Atma comes back to take birth in whichever form it has to take birth in order to experience whatever karmic bondage is assigned to that particular Atma at that moment. So heaven is not the end goal. That some people may think heaven is the end goal. Reaching heaven is the end goal because we want to enjoy the heaven. That is not the end goal, and it is not permanent. It is temporary only. Okay. Any questions? Go on to Sloka 41. So Lord Krishna is continuing to explain that there is no downfall to one who starts traveling in the path of self-realization. Okay. Sloka 41. Prapya punyakrutam lokan
प्राप्य पुण्यकृतां लोकान्
ushitva saswati samaha
उषित्वा
शाश्वती
शाश्वती
समाः
समाः
suchinam srimatam gehe
शुचीनां श्रीमतां
श्रीमतां
गेः
yoga bhrashtobhijayate.
योगभ्रष्टोऽभिजायते
जायते
Let's chant together. Prapya punyakrutam lokan
लोकान् उषित्वा
ushitva
शाश्वती
saraswati
समाः
samaha
शुचीनां
शुचीनां
श्रीमतां
श्रीमतां
गेः
गेः
yoga
योगभ्रष्टोऽभिजायते
bhrashtobhijayate. Lord Krishna is continuing. Yoga bhrashtaha, one who has fallen from the path of yoga. So Arjuna asked that question, right? Again, 2 slokas before. So one who starts traveling in the direction of self-realization, but gets distracted and leaves the path and starts going in the path that is not yoga. So that person is yoga bhrashtaha, one who has fallen from yoga, right? So such a person, that yoga bhrashtaha, okay, punya krutam lokan prapya, after attaining the worlds of those who do meritorious deeds, punya krutam lokan, worlds of those who do meritorious deeds, which is uh, what we know is heaven, right? After attaining those worlds, heaven is not just one, not the only one, right? So, but for example, heaven, okay, after attaining heaven, okay, tatra saswati samaha ushitva, after residing there for several long years. Okay, ushitva, after residing, saswati samaha, several long years. Tatra, there, suchinam srimatam gehe abhijayate. Suchinam srimatam gehe abhijayate, takes birth in the house or family of Suchi. Suchinam is of Suchi, of pious. Srimatam, of prosperous. Gehe, so family or house. So takes birth in the family of pious and prosperous. So one who has fallen from the path of yoga, he starts practicing yoga, and gets distracted. Okay, that person, that Atma, after leaving the body, will reach a world, will reach the worlds of those who do meritorious deeds. So that means this Atma has done meritorious deeds, right? So after attaining those worlds of meritorious deeds, will come back. And one more thing, residing there for several long years. Okay, so enjoying that place, enjoying those pleasures, and then after the time is over, comes back, not as a not in a poor family, or not in a um, family that does not help that Atma again in future, right? So it takes birth in a family of pious, that is pure, and prosperous, wealthy people. Okay, so the advantage is that you don't have to. For example, if somebody is taking birth as a in a poor family, because they have to survive, they may be committing actions that may acquire them more karmic bondage. They may not have opportunity to learn these good practices. They may not have proper opportunity to practice those good practices, right? They're always running after the food, which is a basic need, food, shelter. So uh, and they may not be treated properly, and all these side effects will be there. So one who starts going in the direction of self-realization, one who is going in the path of yoga, falls back, you know still fine. Okay, because they will they will not be going to the final state of supreme bliss, but they will enjoy the benefits of heaven and other worlds, where they can enjoy several long years, long for a long time, and then come back and take birth in a comfortable life. Okay, so it is definitely better to go in that direction. There is no ruin, right? It's actually opposite. It is, it is advantages, or it's better, because you're getting a better life. Even if we are not able to come out of the karmic bondage completely, not able to come out of this vicious cycle of births and deaths, we will be able to, enjoy the heaven and other worlds, where you can enjoy for a long time, and then come back and take birth as one of the four forms, Deva, Manushya, Tiryak, Stavaras, right? And mm, and so here, very very important. So they are taking birth as Manushas only out of these four, right? So because they are taking birth in a pious and prosperous family. Okay, so they will be able to practice, continue the practices in the next life also.
Basically, continue the practice in the next life to be successful this time, right? That's what
Yeah.
is trying to be hinted at.
Yes. There is one more advantage. Next sloka.
Mhm.
So yeah, so basically they don't have to start from the first step again.
Okay.
Okay, so they let us say there are 100 steps. So you go to 10th step, and then for whatever reason, we get distracted. We don't continue completely, or maybe our life age is whatever age is assigned to us, right? We are not able to complete that path. So we are in the 10th step. That's fine. You have 90 more steps to go. But when so you'll be able to enjoy the benefits of those people who did the meritorious deeds, come back, and then you will be able to again start climbing the path again, climbing the stairs.
Got it. It's
Right. Okay, 42, sloka 42, and share. Sloka 42. अथवा योगिनामेव
अथवा योगिनामेव
कुले भवति धीमताम्
कुले भवति धीमताम्
एतद्धि दुर्लभतरम्
एतद् दुर्लभतरम्
दुर्लभतरम्
लोके जन्म यदीदृशम्
लोके जन्म
जन्म
यदि
यदीदृशम्
अथवा
योगिनामेव कुले
कुले भवति
भवति धीमताम्
धीमताम्
एतद्धि दुर्लभतरम्
एतद्दुर्लभतरम्
लोके
लोके
जन्म
जन्म
यदीदृशम्
यदीदृशम्. So in the previous sloka, Lord Krishna said, when those yoga bhrashtas, those who are started practicing, going in the direction of becoming a perfect yogi, they get distracted, or they are not able to complete that path, they will take birth in a pious, prosperous family. In this sloka, Lord Krishna is saying, athava, or else. Okay? Yoginam dhimatam eva kule bhavati. Okay, so or else that person, that Atma will take birth, will be born in a family. Okay, kule bhavati will be born in a family of yoginam dhimatam eva. Yoginam is yoga practitioners, family of yoga practitioners. Dhimatam, those who are capable of giving yoga instructions. Okay, Dhimatam, Dhi is wisdom. So those who have wisdom of yoga. Okay, so that either you take birth in a pure, pious and prosperous family, or you will take birth in a family of yoga practitioners, or those who teach that yoga practice at a higher level, right? Right. So automatically, right, if someone is at home giving yoga instructions, you are exposed. You're going to naturally get it, right? You'll be able to see. You don't have to go 100 miles and then register in a school or college and then learn. There are so many difficulties. But if your father or other family members are practicing, you're able to see them practice and learn from them, or they will be able to naturally introduce the yoga practices to their children, right? Right, that is one. Or you are born in a family who are the instructors, who can teach yoga practices. So then you will be even able to learn even better, right? So um, so that is uh, another advantage, you know. Then yati yat idrusham janma yat idrusham janma etat loke durlabhataram. So yat idrusham janma, that birth which is of this kind, right? The birth of which is of this kind, which is to take birth in a family of yoga practitioners or the yoga teachers, yoga instructors. I mean, the yoga here is not just the asana yoga we're talking about. Now that's part of it, but it's not just the yoga, the asanas. So the so the kind of birth that you get, that kind of birth, etat loke durlabhataram, is very difficult in this world. Okay, etat loke, in this world, durlabhataram, very difficult. Okay, so because you are automatically going in the direction, right? You can start practicing. Okay, so such a birth is extremely difficult to get. What does that mean? Only those who have practiced, who have shown interest and started practicing yoga in their previous births, okay, they have a chance of taking birth again in a family of yoga practitioners. Okay, I mean, at that level, right? So it doesn't happen by chance, right? It is not like anything by chance here. It is all pretty deterministic. So even though it appears like, there's millions of species in this in this universe, and we have been taking births, millions, billions of births, and it's mathematical terms it looks like random, but there is a deterministic science behind this, that those who are practicing in the previous births, they will, again, depending on their level of at what level they were in the previous births, when they got diverted, distracted from the yoga practices, they will be able to take birth either uh, pious families, those who do rituals, pious families, wealthy families, or yoga practitioners, or the yoga instructors. Okay, so that this yoga, taking birth in a family who are practicing yoga, practicing karma yoga, practicing the um, path of self-realization, right? So that is very difficult with getting birth in that kind of a family. I mean, as a corollary, right? I mean, when we see somebody in as a CEO of a company, you respect that person, isn't it? You know, uh, you see somebody in a great position, a great scholar, you respect that person, right? Now, those who have been scholars, not in our mundane knowledge, right? Those who have been scholars in the yoga practice have taken birth in those families who are practicing yoga. Now, do we respect those people? Why should I respect you? Just because you are born there. What is wrong with me? I'm born in this family, those questions don't come. Of course, we're not saying that again everybody is equal, but there are there are those who are at a higher level, like in a company, right? When um, let's say I'm working and then a janitor walks by, I don't get up and then respect the janitor, and janitor also doesn't feel bad about it. But when a CEO comes in, I can simply ignore him, right? So
And we don't
so
have
it is a kind of, I mean, again, without going into all the controversies, there is definitely those who are taking birth in these families. It is a one thing they have to remember is they got a great lottery. They won a lottery prize. Don't lose your um, money. Somebody who wins lottery, right? It's so difficult. Like you get $1 million, or sometimes, nowadays 500 million lottery. How many people are getting those? So you get that lottery and then you waste it. Then what's the use, right? So you have to recognize that it's very difficult to get such a position. You have to make the best use of it. That is from that person's perspective. Others' perspective is you have to know that this is possible only for those great souls who have been at a higher level. Okay, so you automatically try to follow, respect, follow, and all. Of course, if those people who have taken birth in those families don't recognize that they waste their life, don't have to follow them. But um, naturally, as a general rule, those who have taken birth in the families which are practicing practicing their duties with focus on self-realization. Okay, another way of saying practicing yoga. Duties on focusing on self-realization. Those who are following that should be automatically we should recognize that is another way of us following the path as well. That means we are recognizing the greatness and we want to follow that path as well. If you don't even recognize those people, then you're not recognizing the greatness of that path of self-realization, right? So it is very difficult to get such a birth. Okay. Okay, that's why, I mean, even getting a birth as a human is very difficult. Okay, one must have done a lot of good deeds, right? Because compared to, I mean, human is one species. There are millions of species like that, which are inferior compared to the humans. So we could have taken birth in any of those. The fact that we have taken birth as a human, it's a great, we won a lottery, like maybe $1 million lottery. Now, if you are born in a family that can introduce you towards yoga practices, that can put you in the path of teaching, I mean, they're teaching even how to practice yoga. It's like $1 billion lottery. Okay, rarely, once in 10 years, somebody gets it. So once out of 10,000 births, maybe we may get it. So those who get it, unfortunately, it's difficult to, practice. Say, with all the other distractions, they don't realize. A lot of people don't realize that, but Lord Krishna is saying that it's very real. Okay.
I guess what I get out of this is also that Lord Krishna is trying to emphasize to Arjuna, look, if somebody is going on the path of righteousness and unfortunately he fails, right? So Arjuna's question was, does it become useless? He does not get spiritual or material success. What Krishna is trying to emphasize is, look, he'll be born in some, rich family or some, a cultured family where he can, does not need to start from, ground zero. But in addition to that, it could be even better that he will be born in a family where of yoga practitioners, which is already at a higher level. And so,
Yes.
the point of that being wasted is not there actually. What it
Exactly.
is,
Yes.
it's reinforcing your stuff. So keep doing, trying to achieve
Yeah, and
whatever.
also, Sham, the fear is right. See, basically, people may think, look, I lost both the benefits. At least the people who are not in this path, they are materially enjoying. So if I'm not able to get that, I'm losing both, right? There is a possibility of thinking like that.
Yeah, that's what Krishna
Right.
is trying to emphasize to
Exactly.
Arjuna,
Yeah.
that no, it's not that how what you think,
Yeah. And also, it indirectly means, of course, our professor, please correct me if I'm wrong. But it also is indirectly indicating that no matter how many lives we take, one has to come to this path. There is absolutely no other choice.
Yeah,
Right. Yes.
that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So either you do it now or, after a million lives.
Yes. Only through this path is self-realization. Of course, this again, future. This does not guarantee whatever you're doing. Or it's okay if I do these four things, I am guaranteed a seat. There's no guaranteed seat. Okay. So, but if you don't do this, there is absolute guarantee you'll not get it. Okay. So that is the thing. So you'll get a guaranteed seat with blessings of Paramatma. That's the only thing. But and Paramatma's blessing will be there only those who are practicing, because he cannot differentiate. He cannot have bias, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, Balaji.
Thank you.
Okay. So sloka 43. Share my screen. Please chant. Tatra tam buddhi samyogam
तत्र तं बुद्धिसंयोगं
Yogam
labhate paurvadehikam
labhate
लभते पौर्देहिकम्
yatate cha tato bhuyah
yatate
ततो भूयः
samsiddhau kuru nandana.
संसिद्धौ कुरु नन्दन
Let's chant together. Tatra
तत्र
tam buddhi
बुद्धिसंयोगं
samyogam
लभते
labhate
पौर्देहिकम्
paurvadehikam
yatate
yatate cha
ततो
tato
भूयः
bhuyah
संसिद्धौ
siddhau
कुरु
kuru
नन्दन
nandana. Okay. Lord Krishna is continuing to justify that there's no ruin for somebody who started going in the path of self-realization and gets distracted and or does not complete that path, does not achieve the self-realization state in a particular life. There's no ruin for that person. Takes birth in a pious, prosperous family of yoga practitioners or yoga teachers. So, and he's continuing in this sloka, He Kurunandana, Arjuna. Saha, that person, that one who is yoga bhrashtaha from in the previous life, who could not, who was distracted from the path of yoga, who takes birth in one of these families that was given in the previous lokas. Tatra, there in that new birth, tam paurvadehikam buddhi samyogam labhate. Obtains that association of intellect. Buddhi samyogam. Buddhi is intellect. Samyogam, association, propensity, Buddhi samyogam obtains that association of intellect. Paurvadehikam, belonging to previous body. So there was a inclination towards yoga in the previous body, right? They started practicing, yoga in the previous body. So they were focused, at least, whatever time they focused, right? Could be a few years, a few decades. So they started going in that path, but they got distracted or they could not finish. Then in the next birth, in the new birth, they obtain that, that orientation, same disposition, same association of intellect towards yoga. Very interesting, right? What do we remember from our previous lives? Do you remember anything?
No.
No, right?
No.
No, but our body remembers.
Yeah.
I mean, body in the sense, the Sukshma Sharira.
Yeah.
Not this Sthula Sharira. This, we, I mean, again, this is all God's creation, right? It's not our own. I decide that, oh, I need to carry this to my next birth because I'm the decider, I'm the doer. No, Paramatma is guaranteeing that those who go in the direction of self-realization, they take another birth. Let's say they didn't finish the job. They didn't finish the job because maybe several reasons, right? And then they take another birth in one of these families. Now there they get that same orientation towards yoga automatically. So their buddhi is tuned towards the yoga practice. That can explain suddenly like why some people are more easily oriented towards these practices compared to others. What's wrong with these people? I don't think. Right? Or what's greatness about the other people who are going in the right direction? I mean, it is they are carrying that the association of intellect towards the yoga practice. Okay, from the previous birth. Okay, and Lord Krishna is saying, Tataha, from that intellect, Bhuyaha samsiddhau yatate. Yatate endeavors, Bhuyaha again, samsiddhau, in attaining perfection. Okay, perfection of yoga. So in the previous birth, they could not attain the perfection of yoga. So there were 4 levels of yoga, 4 stages Lord Krishna gave, right? So they're probably in the first level or second level or not perfect in any of those levels. So they have not achieved the state of self-realization, and they did not come out of this cycle. cycle of karmic bondage. So they took another birth. They carry the disposition, they carry the orientation of that intellect towards the yoga practice, and they put effort. They endeavor again towards attaining this path of towards attaining this perfection of yoga. Okay, so isn't it? You don't have to put a lot of effort. That initial friction, that static friction, is always greater than dynamic friction. In physics we study, right? So if you are already going in the direction of yoga, it is easy to continue. That's what is happening here. So there is nothing, actually, there's no ruin for that person. They actually enjoy the benefits of materialistic worlds, not worlds, and they also can continue the path of self-realization. Okay.
I think it's the prompting that keeps coming from inside, vasanas.
Yes.
I think that's what is carried from life to life.
Yes, sir.
Because some people, even if they want, they cannot do because they may come to the class, but their inner prompting, if it is forcing them towards something else, then they can't really stay in this path.
Right. Yes. So initially we have to put a lot of effort to overcome that, the initial karmic bondage we have. The karmic bondage, the vasanas that we are carrying, that will prevent us from going in this direction. The sin, we call them as sins. The right, the anything that is preventing us from going in the direction of self-realization is a sin. So those sins that we are carrying will pull us back. But so Lord Krishna said, yeah, with practice you can overcome that, and we have learned so many things in the previous chapters. So you start practicing. Now, let us say this life, I was able to do only like 0.1% because I had so much trouble starting trouble, right? It took so much time for me to start. No worries. That is over now. You are going to start from, you don't have to again have the same starting trouble. You are now in the first gear, then in the second gear, in the fourth gear, third, fourth, fifth gear, you going, with no obstruction on a highway in high speed, right? You don't have to spend the same effort again in trying to fix the car. Okay, so
Thank you.
move on to next sloka, sloka 44. Share my screen. This chant, sloka 44. पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव
पूर्वाभ्यासेन
क्रियते यवसोऽपि सः जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य शब्दब्रह्माति वर्तते. Let's chant together. पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव यवसोऽपि सः जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य
Shabda Brahmati Vartate.
So Lord Krishna is continuing. So one who has taken birth is able to carry, in the previous sloka is saying, carry that same orientation, carry that association of that intellect towards the yoga practice and continue in the direction and attains perfection. Okay? Or puts effort towards attaining perfection in this current birth. Saha, that one, avasaha api. Okay? Even though lacking in self-control. Okay, and there is a kind of literal meaning of it. We'll explain that. Tena purva abhyasena eva kriyate. Kriyate is attracted, motivated towards yoga. Tena, by that, purva abhyasena eva, practice of the previous birth. So, Tena purvabhyasena eva kriyate means is attracted towards yoga. That one is attracted towards yoga by that practice of the previous birth. Because in the previous birth, you're doing the practice, right? Abhyasa, you're doing the practice. Purva abhyasa is the practices, from the previous birth. Purva abhyasena means by those practices of the previous births. Kriyate gets attracted towards yoga. Avasaha api. So even though you don't have that literal meaning is even though lacking self-control, even though lacking in other words, even though lacking that active engagement towards yoga in this particular life, right? Even though there is no motivation for you initially, but you are attracted towards it. I mean, you're really not looking for towards, I want to practice yoga, I want to become perfect in it. You're not really doing that, but involuntarily, without self-control, yeah, you'll be able to, you will be attracted towards the practice of yoga in this particular life. So, you don't have to put a lot of effort. Is another way of looking at it, right? So, without, even though, one is, okay, I have complete self-control, and with that self-control, I need to practice yoga, right? Only that is a normal starting trouble, right? You have to focus your mind to uncontrolled mind. With uncontrolled mind, you cannot practice yoga. So you have to have that self-control, that mind control, then start practicing yoga. Now, even though you don't have that practice, initial practice, you're automatically attracted towards it, right? So it is not that, as we make progress in this journey, okay, we might be at a stage at a higher level compared to others. So depending on that stage, how much effort we need to put in to start practicing yoga again matters, differs. Okay. So if we are already practicing, that path of self-realization, practicing yoga, we get attracted towards that yoga in this particular life. right? Even though we do not have to actively engage. We don't have to put effort. Okay. Because of the previous birth practices. Okay. And Lord Krishna is saying, api, saha api, that is even that one, yogasya jignasuhu, who is just acquiring, sorry, who is just inquiring of yoga. Yogasya of yoga, yeah, jignasuhu is one who is inquiring. Is just interested. Somebody who is simply, there's a yoga class that's going on here. Or, I mean, yoga class, I'm not talking about just the asanas, right? So we are talking about Bhagavad Gita, for example. So the Bhagavad Gita class is going on. Just inquiring about it, starts practicing. Right? See, some people, even you make them come and sit in the in the class, they will do everything to, I mean, destroy everything around them, right? They will start blaming everybody around them. They will start, you know, you know, throwing everything, whatever they can think of, to belittle everybody who is practicing these things. I mean, so that is one level of people. The other extreme. The another extreme is like another side of it. Somebody who is like doesn't know anything about yoga. I mean, you see all these those who are not born into these yoga practitioners, for example, right? Some of them, they simply see Swamiji and then just follow Swamiji, right? Even though they had no idea what it was before. So they were simply inquiring about, hey, what is this, right? So because of the previous births practices, okay, those got carried forward. I mean, not the practices, that inclination towards yoga, that inclination of their intellect towards yoga got carried forward into this life. And when they simply inquire about it, they start practicing. And Lord Krishna is saying, Sabda Brahma Ativartate. Ativartate is transcending, transcends. Okay, so even those who simply inquire about yoga transcend Sabda Brahma. This word is pretty loaded. Okay, um, based on the context and based on again a lot of research, it refers to material nature. Okay, so Brahma is a word that has several meanings. In this particular context, Sabda Brahma is that which can be referred to by the name, by a name, right? So that manifestation which can be referred to by a name is what? All these forms, which is nature. So material nature, like the Prakriti, right? So Ativartate, they transcend material nature. That means they are released from karmic bondage. They attain the supreme state of moksha. So even those who simply inquire about yoga, they start practicing, and they finally, I mean, it's not like just inquiring, they get the moksha next day. No, I mean, it shows that simply asking about, showing interest, inquiring about yoga, they start practicing. Only if they have I mean, when they have the practices, when they have practiced in their previous birth. Okay. Sloka 46. No, 45, sorry. Listen, Sloka 45. Prayatnadyatamaanastu
प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु
yogi samsuddha kilbishaha
योगी
संशुद्धकिल्बिषः
संशुद्धकिल्बिषः
aneka janma samsiddhaha
अनेकजन्मसंसिद्धः
tato yati param gatim.
ततो
याति
याति
पराम्
परां गतिम्
Let's chant together. Prayatnadyatamaanastu
प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु
yogi
संशुद्धकिल्बिषः
संशुद्धकिल्बिषः
samsuddha
अनेकजन्मसंसिद्धः
अनेकजन्मसंसिद्धः
ततो
ततो
याति
याति
पराम्
परां
परां
गतिम्
गतिम्
गतिम्. Okay. Yogi tu. Okay. Yogi. Tu means but. Okay. So, or though. Okay. So here, so that yogi who was a yoga brashta in the previous births, but he was practicing in the previous births. So they took another birth, and in this birth they started practicing, moving towards perfection in yoga. So yogi, though they are distracted in their previous births, prayatnat yatamanaha, due to continuous practice, prayatnat, due to continuous practice, yatamanaha, endeavors in yoga, puts effort in practicing yoga. With that, samsuddha kilbishaha, completely freed from all the sins. Kilbisha, sins, samsuddha, freed from completely freed from all the sins. Aneka janma samsiddha, achieves perfection over several births. Aneka janma, over several births, samsiddha, achieves perfection. Tataha, from that yoga practice, yati param gatim, attains supreme goal. Very simple, right? So even though one is distracted, one is not able to achieve the state of perfection in yoga in one life, due to continuous practice over several births. Okay, due to continuous practice and putting in effort in every birth, right? Putting effort in yoga in every birth, they completely get rid of their sins. They're freed from all their sins and achieve perfection over several births. So due to that practice of yoga, they are attaining their supreme goal of self-realization. Okay, so it may take several births. Okay, but we shouldn't be thinking, oh, if I don't get in this birth, what will happen to me? Don't have to worry, right? We may get to another birth where we can continue this path. And over several births like that, then we will be able to achieve the state of self-realization. Okay, sloka 46. Listen, sloka 46. Tapasvidhyodhiko yogi
तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी
ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः
ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः
कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी
कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी
तस्मात् योगी भवार्जुन।
तस्माद्योगी भवार्जुन
Question together.
तपस्विभ्योऽधिको
तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी
योगी
ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि
ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि
मतोऽधिकः
मतोऽधिकः
कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको
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 योगी
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 तस्माद्
तस्मात्
योगी
योगी
भवार्जुन
भवार्जुन
Arjuna. Lord Krishna, coming to a conclusion. uh, only two more slokas in this chapter. So he explained about, practice of yoga. With the practice of yoga, you will attain your supreme goal of self-realization, of um, getting out of this cycle of births and deaths, right? So Lord Krishna is saying in this sloka, tapasvibhyaha adhikaha yogi. Yogi, that yogi is that yogi who is practicing, who is a practitioner of the yoga. We are calling as yogi. Okay, is superior. Adhika is superior. Tapasvibhya superior compared to those who are performing austerities. Tapas is austerity in English. Okay, so one who is performing austerities to related to the body. Okay, so yogi is better than those who are performing austerities related to body. Okay, are superior compared to those who are performing austerities towards body. And Lord Krishna is saying, Jnanibhyaha api mataha adhikaha. Jnanibhyaha than jnanis. Okay, so the same yogi, the yogi, is considered superior to those acquiring knowledge. Very important to understand here. Is this jnanis are not those jnanis who are seeking knowledge of self. Okay, what this sloka is referring to, those the tapas is related to bodily austerities with the focus on the body and materialistic benefits. Okay, I will do this austerity, I will follow these rites, in order to achieve a particular materialistic benefit for this body. So that is the tapas we are talking about. So a yogi who is seeking self-realization is better than those who are performing austerities related to body, is better than those who are seeking knowledge about this world, seeking worldly knowledge. Okay. Karmibhyaha adhikaha yogi. Saying yogi is considered superior to those performing karmas, duties to achieve materialistic goals, not karma yoga. Okay. Those who are performing just, I want to, all the activities that we are doing, running around in this world in order to achieve some materialistic, uh, needs that we need to satisfy, and then materialistic desires that we may have, and all that. So a yogi is superior compared to those who are simply doing their duties for the sake of materialistic goals. So Lord Krishna is saying, Tasmat, therefore, yogi bhava, become a yogi, Arjuna, O Arjuna. So therefore, O Arjuna, become a yogi. So yogi is superior to those who are simply doing the activities or simply trying to get knowledge about this materialistic world, or simply doing some austerities related to body. Okay. So that's why become a yogi. So because why is that? Because all these three, right? Just doing the duties, right? Or getting worldly knowledge, or doing tapas or the austerities for the purpose of again materialistic goals, for the sake of body. These three don't give us that permanent bliss, right? So yoga is the only one that gives us the that takes us to the superior level. So that's why he's suggesting become a yogi. Okay.
So what if you even don't do those three?
Oh, if you don't do the
Yogi is superior
prescribed
to,
duty.
yeah, Krishna Paramatma says yogi is superior to all these three. A ritualistic person, or a person who's doing shastras, or the first one, is it right?
No, this second, the getting knowledge of materialistic world again, worldly knowledge, like all the knowledge related to this, survive in this world, making our life better in this world, and everything related to this worldly, right? Just focusing on that. So now, we have, if so your question, if we don't even do those things,
Yeah.
then we are acquiring more karmic bondage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
See, we have a certain duty to fulfill. If we don't fulfill our duty, that is unfulfilled duty is like again a sin.
Right.
So it gets carried forward. It doesn't get nullified. Certain duties assigned to this particular body. If you don't perform those duties, they are not going away simply. They get multiplied and then are reassigned back to us as a fine, right? You don't pay your loan, what happens?
So just on a lighter note, we know that this person has not started on his, karma yogi journey from the previous life. So he's disrupting the classes.
No. Yeah. So again, seeking knowledge for related to Atma, Paramatma, and basically the the three realities in this universe, and what is who am I, what is my duty, how do I do it, what is my goal, what are the obstacles that I have, how do I overcome, that kind of a knowledge is good. You're in the right direction. Okay. In order to become yogi, you need that knowledge, right? And then in order to become yogi, you need to perform your duties. Without performing any duty, we can become yogi because our mind is not stable. It's not possible to control it unless we perform our duties as karma yoga. And unless we perform, again, austerities is another thing that is a duty that we have that we need to follow. So if you don't do any of these things as service to God, then we are not going to be in the, we are not going to be yogi, and will not be. I mean, without these three also, you cannot become yogi. But the thing is that you have to do them as service to God, not as a for materialistic gains.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 9:30. So we'll conclude here.
There's a lot of
We'll-
motivation by Lord Krishna. So these slokas, a lot of motivation slokas. So
Yes. Yeah, we need to. So first 6 chapters, right, is basically the entire message of Bhagavad Gita. Whatever needs to be given to us is already embedded in the 6 chapters. Okay. The knowledge of 3 realities, what we need to do, how we need to do it, how we need to, I mean, everything is given, including all this logical reasoning, everything is there. Now, but it will be elaborated further in the next 6 chapters, between from 7 to 12. And then it gets repeated again from 13 to 18 with a different angle. Every time, I mean, it's not like the same sloka is repeated again. A different type of question will come, different way of explanation will come. It is elaborated further, seen from a different angle, all that. Or like it is given like a checklist. Now it is given like a question and answer, and it is spread over like multiple chapters. But in some other chapter, it will be like, boom, 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 like it's all checklist given to us. So so that it gets ingrained in us, right? So yeah, um, Lord Krishna is giving us the message that this is your goal, become a yogi, right? Okay, so we need to attain the state of self-realization. That is our goal. Okay. However, now like there is a small catch there. So it's like the movie just before the interval, right? Suddenly some suspense comes, and then there will be a break for 10 minutes. Then the movie starts again, right? We thought almost the movie is over, and suddenly just before, like 2 minutes before the interval, suddenly something happens. And then the entire plot gets explored again after the interval. It's like that now. So 6th chapter, last sloka, just gives that the twist, and then it gets elaborated further in next chapters. So I mean, fundamental goal is to achieve that state of state where we do not have to take birth again. What we call what that state, we'll learn more about it. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll conclude with the concluding prayer. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं
सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि
श्रीमन्नारायणाय
नारायणायेति समर्पयामि
सर्वं
सर्वं
श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।
श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
ॐ अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः।
नमः
जय श्रीमन्नारायण।
जय
जय
श्री
श्रीमन्नारायण everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
जय श्रीमन्नारायण।